guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer Battle Replay. So here you can see I've got my horde of Black Orcs, and I'm up against Clan Angrand, so I've had to go with a lot of armor piercing. And, you know, I did really scrimp on magic attacks. I don't really have an answer to ethereal units, which is bad. But hopefully it'll be alright. So anyway, so I've got front line of Black Orcs, 4 units of them. I've got 3 units of trolls in there as well. On the slightly on the wings, I've got a goblin big boss on a spider on each side, good for those poison attacks, very useful. And also I've got a orc war boss just on foot, because I don't want him to get sort of sniped out by anything. So you know, any sort of artillery or anything, I want him to be a smaller target, so he can just wade in with the Black Orcs and be nice and safe and get some killing done. So also I've got 3 lots of savage orcs. And these guys are useful for flanking. They do pretty well against dwarves. They got that physical resist, and they hit like trucks. So although they don't have a lot of armor piercing, if you get them around the back, they're great flanking forces, I find. And they're relatively quick, certainly quicker than these Black Orcs. So also, hidden in a tree over here, I've got a Night Goblin Shaman. I'm going to move him up to a different tree. Always useful, you know, having a magic caster that's not going to get killed. So keeping him in a tree is always a fun idea. And also, I've got the Hammer of Gork. So I brought this as a counter for their artillery, and honestly, it didn't seem to go particularly well. Yeah, you'll see. It doesn't work particularly well, as I think that, yep, there we go. One's destroyed already, which is just fantastic. Great news. Anyway, they actually do a debuff on enemy units. They lower accuracy, which is very cool. So good against artillery, you think, right? But, yeah, unfortunately I have to get like a direct hit on their crew to be able to actually do that, so it's a bit annoying. But oh well. So over here, you'll notice there are no ethereal units. So I really lucked out this time, because I was not prepared. So Belegar is leading. He's got a front line of Longbeards. He's got some Dwarf great weapons hanging out behind. These nice cheap counter to Black Orcs. He's also got some Ironbreakers, which are by no means cheap counter to anything, but they are sturdy. They will fight for a long time, so that's good. Also, he's got some Dwarf Warriors, just standard ones on the sides, and he's obviously got this cannon that I'm trying to put down with my Foot of Gork, but not Foot of Gork, Hammer of Gork, but it's not going very well. He's also got Ulthar's Rangers and a load of Rangers great weapons, so these guys will chew through my trolls, and they would have chewed through my Lord if I'd brought him on a on a mount. So yeah, pretty dangerous. Also, he's got some Dwarf Warriors great weapons hiding in the back, and he's got some Slayers in the trees, which aren't actually hidden. But still, they will do very well against Savage Orcs. Because, yeah, that's just high weapon damage, they'll just cleave through it pretty well. So, let's speed things up. So start moving up, and you'll see just this gets completely trashed by the cannon. It's really unfortunate. I don't know if he's chevroned it up at all. No, he hasn't. That's just standard accuracy for the cannon. But yeah, the debuff, if you look at the moment, it's nothing. Have you seen the bottom left corner? There's no blind debuff. Still none. You'll see it's on these guys though, because they got hit directly by the by the catapult. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. Yeah, I think that might need to change, because frankly, it's not accurate enough to be able to hit artillery and stop them firing back. So you basically just luck out or you don't. I think that hit. So yeah, there's the debuff. Doesn't even last very long. So it's kind of annoying. Oh well. So I charge my front line in. So yeah, just even across the board. I sent one of my it was that sort of Savage Orc that I had in the back. I've sent him around one side as well, because obviously he's got these sides guarded. So I want to get one unit sort of pinning down the Dwarf Warriors and get another one around. Obviously there are Slayers there, so that's going to be pretty dangerous. So here I get my trolls in, but now they're under a lot of fire from these guys. So I get an itchy nuisance down to hit some of the front line. So that's useful. So I hit War, Stand Your Ground, and also Foe Seeker. I'm not sure why I did Foe Seeker, but, you know, I did. So, so yeah, as you can see, these Longbeards are having a terrible, terrible time. Unfortunately, so are my trolls over here. And, yeah, that's a bit of a shame. So you'll see Belegar will join the fight over here, and he will really help swing this. So there's the Longbeards, and obviously there's the Dwarf Warriors great weapons. And annoyingly, my Goblin Big Boss waded right through and is now surrounded. That's not a good place for him. They're not that good at fighting. They're great support, but not great just to rule like that, so it's not ideal. So here, get these Savage Orcs kind of in the back, but he did manage to, you know, plug the gap. I did manage to avoid these guys entirely, so that's good. But you can see my trolls are running. These Black Orcs have taken a huge amount of damage. So that's pretty scary. So you can see now I'm in the Iron Breakers. So I've got my general, some Black Orcs, and the Trolls trying to cleave through them. The Black Orcs do pretty well against the Iron Breakers, although the Iron Breakers are sturdy as hell. The Black Orcs got great armor piercing. And Iron Breakers don't have the best armor piercing themselves, so it could work. So here I've got some Savage Orcs in here, but they are getting shot at. And some of them decided to attack here as well, which is weird. So I'll put an Itchy Nuisance, try and win this flank nice and quickly. Because these Longbeards are nearly gone. I want to take out these Dwarf Warriors as well. So again, I got Goblin Big Boss that sort of waded through everyone. Yeah. Anyway, so most of my flank on this side has gone, with Belegar supporting. Yeah, that's been quite dangerous. But here, he comes with Belegar to try and, you know, help out the Iron Breakers. So I'm going to go straight for him. So I immediately pull out my Goblin Big Boss from this side, because I want to get him poisoned so he can't run away. So obviously the Trolls will hit him really hard, although they might not last long against this kind of attack. And I wade the Orc War Boss through, because he can push through these Dwarves pretty well. And so now I've got everyone attacking Belegar. Annoyingly though, because I'm no longer fighting the Iron Breakers, they decide to throw satchel charges at me. So that's been unfortunate, but it'll have to do. So here, charging the Black Orcs again. So obviously they do have the cheap armor piercing here, and they are getting some good ranged attacks on me. And these things will hit hard. They got really high missile damage and armor piercing. They're almost out of ammo though, which is good. But they will cut through Black Orcs very well. So that's pretty scary. So I'll bring my Goblin Big Boss back in. I'm going to try and get him on the general as well. You'll see Belegar is running away. I haven't used a potion of toughness yet, so my Orc War Boss is in a great place at the moment. But you'll see the rest of my army is starting to run away, and they've still got a lot going on. Luckily, though, they aren't running out of ammo, you know, quite a lot. Actually, Ulthar's Raiders not so much, because I got pinned down by Savage Orcs, which have now run away, because the Slayers, they're doing a great job, basically. Here as well, Black Orcs, they're getting hit by a lot here again. This armor piercing is pretty dangerous. So I'm not best pleased about that. So still trying to wade in. I've got my poison attacks. You know, still pretty high weapon damage actually. 360 with the Goblin Big Boss. Not armor piercing, but they're pretty good. Unfortunately, one of them is about to run away again, so that's a shame. But you know, Belegar is pretty pinned in here. I mean, he's got Rangers trying to help, but Rangers aren't going to be great in combat against these guys. So it'll be interesting. So I'm constantly trying to bring people back as much as I can. I've run out of catapults, so the crew is just standing there. And these Black Orcs have finally had enough by the looks of it. They're getting really beaten up by these guys. It's just the support from the... oh no, they decide they're back. No, they're not. They can't make their mind up. But yeah, they, yeah, with all the ranged attacks, weakening them earlier on, they suffered a hell of a lot of damage. But, you know, these guys are pretty knackered, so it's not so bad. So here, I pull away from these guys. Unfortunately, they will just be, you know, attacking me with the melee weapons. So that's both of my big bosses have run off here, which is a real shame. And over here, my Savage Orcs have been running away. These guys are still going, all 18 of them, but there's a lot of Slayers there. So that's not ideal. These Black Orcs, though, they're still fighting. They will fight these Iron Breakers for a long time. So, here, still get... so I put Sneaky Stabbing on. I use the Potion of Toughness as well. And you'll see Belegar's dead now. So that's great news. So there goes Belegar, and now I can just have my Orc War Boss just, you know, fighting through these guys. And also, these Rangers are not going to hold up against the Trolls. So bring the Trolls back into the fight like this is fantastic. I also bring in the Shaman, because I want as many people close as possible, as many people in this fight. He's still got full health. He's not a great fighter, but he can deal with Rangers, so that's fine. So, yeah, proc a load of spells. So I've got the War going, which is really good. Itchy Nuisance went down on the enemy, so now these guys are going to be really struggling to hit me. And I'll be able to hit them great, so that's fantastic. Yeah, with the War, plus 58, I do love that. So finally, my Black Orcs did run away. But only 25 Iron Breakers left, and only 22 Slayers, so that's good news. Unfortunately, still have some Ulthar's Raiders there. Almost out of ammo, though. So I'm quite happy for him to just throw axes at the fleeing guys and use up some of that ammo. Not sure what's over there. Some Dwarf Warriors chased my guys all the way to the edge. So that's pretty handy, because that's a lot of Dwarf Warriors that I don't want to be fighting. So here, I charge the cannon, because I want to get rid of that, because that will do a lot of damage against my Trolls. Now with them running, and Belegar dead, you know, these guys are starting to sort of feel the pain, really. So here I see Ulthar's Raiders coming in. I can't be getting volleys from these guys. So you'll see, I'll actually push out my Trolls, because I don't want the Trolls fighting the Slayers. I'm happy for the Orc War Boss to do it, because he's on foot. Same with the Shaman, you know, the Slayers hurt, but they're not going to be able to fight a general when there's only 8 of them left. So I throw these Trolls straight at Ulthar's Raiders, hit them really hard. You can see the amount of health going down, and especially their leadership is plummeting. Also, I've got this Night Goblin Shaman over here, just trying to slow enemies down, charge what I can. And it looks like they're trying to chase the big boss, which is fine by me. So now it means I can just focus down these, you know, last decent units. So the Iron Breaker's now shattered. Everything has, in fact. Oh, apart from these dwarfs, now they have. There we go. So yeah, pretty messy. I mean, look at this. It's a catastrophe. But, you know, we won. And yeah, I think this is the meaning of Pyrrhic, because there's no way that this army of mine can, you know, then march on to, you know, conquer the city or anything. There's, yeah, no way. So pretty cool. So yeah, if we look at the breakdown here, so you can see my trolls did fairly well. Some of them got pretty beaten up. Some didn't. But yeah, 64 kills there, pretty good. 133 for these Black Orcs. These ones, I think, were the ones on the right that got swarmed. It's hard to tell. And yeah, the Hammer Gorg basically did nothing. Killed 20 cannon crew, maybe. Actually, it hit those Ulthar's Raiders a little bit, didn't it? Or range of the great weapons, at any rate. But yeah, it didn't really do a lot. But then luckily, his cannon didn't do a whole lot, because it was just shooting at my cannon crew, well, my catapult crew, for ages. So that's good news. But still, yeah, don't want that thing sitting around. So you can see his Slayers did really well. They're really good against Savage Orcs, which seems surprising, because obviously they're anti-large, but just that high weapon damage, they can do a lot of damage against Savage Orcs that don't really have a lot of protection. So yeah, they will do very well. Which makes sense, because they cost twice as much, so you kind of hope they would, right? But you can see my Orc War Boss did really well, 54 kills. He really helped mop up some of the elite units at the end. I mean, you know, he was fighting the Iron Breakers and the Slayers at the end there. Really helped, you know, sort of tip it back in my favour, especially because he beat the crap out of Belegar. So, yeah, with Belegar dead, it was only a matter of time before their leadership gave way. Though, you know, it could have gone either way. My leadership was obviously awful. So many of my guys had run away at least twice. I could have had a chain rout happen at any time at the end there. So I was really fortunate that the trolls decided to actually stay in the fight, which is obviously very rare for a troll. They have terrible leadership. But they were determined. They were winning every fight they were going in. So that kept their leadership up. Because, yeah, it kept them away from the Slayers. I just had them go and attack all the Rangers at the end, which, you know, kept them in the fight, which is great. So, and you can see, actually, the Savage Orcs, they did pretty well, considering they're half the price of a unit of Slayers. Well, just over half the price. I think they're 550 and Slayers are 1,000. But still, they got a fair few kills, you know, when you compare them to the enemy Slayers. So they did pretty well. I mean, they even did better than some of the Black Orcs. So yeah, getting them round the back, and, you know, fighting at the sort of the softer units at the back, it seemed to go pretty well. So yeah, also, Goblin Big Bosses, got a few kills, which isn't too bad. You know, they were helping to hunt Belegar, which was their main sort of use there, I think. So it was pretty cool. And yeah, even like Goblin Shaman got 8 kills, but his you know, Itchy Nuisance and what's it called, Sneaky Stabbing, like that helped my front line immensely. You know, in cutting through these guys. So it was really useful. So it was a really fun one. So got beer, got beer. I like to think it's got beer. Anyway, that was a great match. Really close. Could have gone either way. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a rematch sometime soon on ladder. And guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.